What's up everyone, and welcome to another Pokémon X and Y update. Earlier today, I made a video about the Kalos starters evolutions being revealed in the latest CoroCoro scan leaks, and I mentioned that there's still tons more information, so here we are. We're going to discuss the new Mega Mewtwo evolution, Mega Garchomp, a bunch of new Pokemon including some new fossils, some details on Team Flare, the Fairy type, and tons more, so let's get to it. So let's start off with the new Mega Mewtwo, and when I say new, I mean that Mewtwo actually has two Mega Evolutions, the latest one, which you see here, being called Mega Mewtwo X. And of course this means that it is exclusive to Pokémon X, meaning that Mega Mewtwo Y, which you see here, is exclusive to Pokémon Y. Now, a lot of people actually speculated that Mewtwo would actually have two Mega Evolutions, or at least some sort of other evolution, because the original picture of Mega Mewtwo Y, seen here, the name of it actually had, like, Y in it, so people assumed that there would be one for Pokemon X and one for Y, and so now, we can confirm that this is true with Mega Mewtwo X, which we can see here, and this dude is going to be a Psychic and Fighting type, and he will have the ability Steadfast. Now this is interesting because when you think of Mewtwo, you would never think that it would be half fighting type, but Mega Mewtwo X here, you see, it's got his big ol' fist, big kicks, feet things. He looks awesome. His ability's not really, I don't know, Steadfast is kind of weird, so I don't really know what's up with that, not really the greatest ability. And he's actually going to have a Mega Stone called Mewtwo Knight X, which of course means that Mega Mewtwo Y will have Mega Mewtwo Knight Y. This is all confusing, too many Megas, too many X's and Y's, but basically Mewtwo Knight X for Mewtwo X and Mewtwo Knight Y for Mewtwo Y, or Megas. I think you get what I mean. Anyway, let's move on to the other new Mega Evolution revealed, Mega Garchomp, which a lot of people actually also thought was going to come true, and even I did a little picture of what a mock-up Mega Garchomp would look like. I didn't exactly get it right, but hey, close enough. It's got bigger claws, it's got little spikes coming out of its chest, and red spikes on its kneecaps, and it looks much like other Mega Evolutions, kind of a buffed up version of Garchomp with some slightly different color scheme. Now this guy's new ability is going to be Sand Force, which raises the power of rock, ground, and steel type moves by 30% when you're in a sandstorm, obviously just buffing up the already super strong Garchomp. But hey, that's what Mega Evolutions seem to be doing, is just literally making super overpowered Pokemon, so it's not really that much of a surprise. He doesn't have the thing where he just automatically summons a sandstorm, but if you do have a sandstorm going, then obviously you'll have super strong moves. And if I'd have to take a guess, just like the Mega Mewtwo X, this guy's gonna receive a boost in his attack stat, maybe speed. Anyway, that is it for Mega Evolutions in this update. Pretty awesome still. We received two new ones, Mega Garchomp and Mega Mewtwo X. Kind of a little plot twist with there being two Mega Evolutions for Mewtwo, and they're actually version exclusives, which have led a lot of people to think that if you're able to actually trade them, I would assume that maybe you can just, make your Mewtwo hold the Mewtwo Knight X and just trade it over to Y, so I don't know, it's just version exclusive, but you're probably going to be able to trade him between games. We still have a ton more to discuss, so next up let's talk about the new Pokemon revealed. First up were the 3 starter evolutions, which I actually already made a separate video on those, so if you want to check that out, you can check that out in the description, or it'll probably be somewhere in the related videos. I made a separate video just about the starter evolutions, which I think they all look really cool. Some people have been hating on them, but I actually think they all look pretty awesome. Anyway, in this video we're going to discuss the other new Pokemon that were actually released with these CoroCoro scans right here. First up, in the upper left corner here, we have Torimian. Keep in mind that these are all the Japanese names, so 1, I may not pronounce them correctly, and 2, it's not really going to be their English name, but this is Torimian, a normal type Pokemon, and this is actually one that we saw in Pokemon Direct. It was leaked for like a split second. We actually got to see it battling Mega Venusaur, and we've actually see now the full reveal of it with every detail about him. So he's got an ability called Fur Coat, which cuts the damage for moves that come into contact with it. So I would assume basically most physical moves, sort of like Tackle or Quick Attack, stuff that basically actually physically hits the Pokemon, it will cut the damage of that, which seems pretty cool, and it fits with it. Apparently it's a poodle Pokemon. I thought it was an alpaca when I first saw it, but apparently it's a poodle, and as we see here, much like real-life poodles, there's a game mechanic that allows you to actually change its fur and change its color and just make it look all pretty like. I don't know what's up with that. I honestly thought it was like a llama or alpaca, but apparently it's a nice little poodle. And one cool little thing that some people have been speculating is that this new mechanic where you can trim the fur of the guy will actually make him have maybe different moves or even different types. I wouldn't really see a different type, but maybe it could kind of be like the original Rotom forms where each one had a specific move pertaining to that type. That would be pretty cool, or maybe just one certain move that changes type depending on which fur coat you're using. One final thing about Torimian here is it can learn a new fairy type move called Round Eyes. Not sure what that's all about. Seems to me like just kind of stares at you, so maybe it'll be a stat decreasing move, but that's a thing. So let's move on down below to Nikusu. Not sure how to pronounce that one. It is speculated that his English name will be Meowstic though, and this is leaked by a guy that actually got a lot of Pokemon English names right that were revealed before, like Malamar and the other little squid. Anyway, this is a Psychic type Pokemon, and what might look here like two Pokemon is actually the different genders of this guy. Now the cool thing here is that not only are the gender differences super different, but these Pokemon actually have completely different move pools depending on the gender. Something also brand new that Pokemon hasn't done before, so once again they're just giving us so much new stuff, and I think it's all awesome. The right one here is the male, and he'll actually have a move pool more based on supporting, while the left one here, the female, will actually have more of an aggressive move pool. Anyway, there's only one move revealed for each of them so far, with the male learning Miracle Eye and the female learning Extrasensory. I think these Pokemon are awesome. It's something brand new. We haven't seen really gender difference this drastic, I guess, not just with design, but even with the move pools being different. And I don't know if other Pokemon will have this. It seems like a little bit of a gimmick thing. Actually, both of these Pokemon seem to be a little bit of a gimmick, so I don't know if other Pokemon will have this necessarily, but I think it's really cool, and at least I'd like to see one more of these. So let's move on to the next page here, where we have the two fossil Pokemon for the Kalos region revealed. On the top here, we've got Chigorasu, the T-Rex Pokemon, and he is going to be a rock and dragon type and have the ability Hard Chin, a new ability that increases the power of biting sort of moves. The example given is Crunch, I guess, but I'm assuming other stuff like Bite, and I honestly can't think of that many more. I guess the Fang abilities maybe, but stuff like that involves using biting attacks will be boosted with this ability. Rock and Dragon type seems really cool. Of course it's gonna be super weak to Ice type attacks, but it still just seems like a really cool type combination that surprisingly hasn't been done before. And this guy, despite being a T-Rex, looks so cute, and I can't wait to see like what he evolves into. I guarantee it'll be like some super badass giant rock dinosaur, and I don't know, man, this guy looks really cool. And right below him we've got Amarusu, seeming to be based on a Brachio or Brontosaurus, and he's actually a rock and ice type. So because they're both fossils, they're both rock types, but Amarusu here actually has half ice type, which sort of gives him a huge advantage over the other guy. I already forgot your name. Once your English name comes out, I'm sure it'll be fine, but because it is half ice type, it definitely gives it an advantage over the T-Rex, which I don't know how I feel about that. It's pretty cool typing though. Anyway, Amarusu here also has a brand new ability called Freeze Skin, which will change all of its normal type attacks into ice type attacks and boost their power. Now this seems like a really cool ability. I don't know if this has been done before. I think there's one that's similar, but it just sounds really cool that all the normal type moves will end up being ice type. The move itself I don't think will change, but you know, the typing will. And it's something that I definitely see happening for other types as well, like a Flame Skin, maybe like a Shock Skin, I don't know, but you know, obviously changing normal type moves into other types of attacks, and it just sounds really cool, and once again, something else that's brand new. Speaking of brand new, both of these Pokemon are actually types that have never been done before, with Rock and Dragon and Rock and Ice, which is really cool. I love that X and Y is just including all of these types that they've never done before in, and I'd love to see the full Pokédex come out, because I'm sure there will be way many more types advantages, or type matchups rather, that we've never seen before. And that wraps it up for all the new Pokemon revealed during these CoroCoro scans. I think they all look really awesome. Of course, we've got Llama Poodle with his fur coat changing abilities. We've got the super gender difference Meowstic actually, the super cute T-Rex, and Amaroosu with his littlest pet shop thing going on. I think they all look really cool, and I'm really excited to just have fun with these guys. So there's actually also a type chart released, which includes all the resistances, immunities, and super effectiveness of fairy type, which I know you guys can't understand here unless you actually know Japanese, but just to clarify for those of you that don't, so like 90% of you, fairy type is super effective against fighting, dark, and dragon types. It is weak to steel and poison. It resists fighting, dark, and bug, and it is not very effective against steel, fire, and poison, and it will be immune to dragon. I know that's a lot to take in, but hopefully this little diagram that's on screen right now helps you out. If you want to pause and analyze it, then feel free to do so. But another change has actually happened to the Steel type, which now not only being one of the two things good against Fairy type, Steel types have actually had their resistance to Dark and Ghost types removed. So Steel types no longer just super resistant to everything, but they're now just normal resistant to Dark and Ghost type attacks. And the final little bit of information we've got is actually regarding Team Flare, and the first time we actually see some of the bosses rather than just the grunts. Now this is the one thing that I'm not super excited for, and it's just the fact that Team Flare is apparently associated with these 5 scientists here, and I mean they look alright, but it is stated that Team Flare's goal is to create a beautiful new world. I don't know, it just doesn't sound like the story of this evil team will be as exciting as the ones we've had in previous games, plus the fact that it was stated before that Team Flare's goal was just to make tons of money, so don't know how that's gonna end up. But as for the designs, I actually think they look pretty cool, especially this guy up here with the goggles. He's got that roundish going on. They've all got crazy different colored hair, and you know, they're all about looking fabulous, so maybe their mascot is Mega Ampharos. Probably not, but they're both fabulous. So that finally wraps up this mega update. This just has so much information that I wouldn't doubt that this is actually the final batch of information that we will receive, as X and Y is only a month away, so I wouldn't really doubt that this is the final giant amount of information that we receive. Of course, these are CoroCoro leaks, so there's most likely gonna be like an actual trailer, especially for like the international audience, revealing all of this, which will probably be coming in a couple of days here, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. As I said, it was just so much information, so just let me know what you thought of all of it down in the comments. All the new Mega Mewtwo X and Mewtwo Y being a split version exclusive thing, that's just crazy. Mega Garchomp, and of course the new Pokemon, which I think look awesome. Let me know what you guys think of them down in the comments. Now that is it for me, so as always, if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, and hopefully I'll see you all in a couple of days if they do release this as an international sort of trailer. So again, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.